welcome back, guys. It is Wednesday. I'm so happy to see you. Let's get started right away. So let's look at the standards that we're going to be using today.
Today are RL11, where you refer back to the text to be able to find evidence either explicitly or when doing inferences. RL12, which we did last week. And this time we're going to be focusing on summarizing the text, specifically for a fictional or literature text. And RL13, where you describe a character, setting, or event in a story, drama, okay, drawing specific details. What are you going to be able to do? By the end of this lesson, you're going to explain how the problem was solved, and so what's the lesson of this story?
Awesome. So Monday, with left off our story of Anne, and then that she went to where? Yeah, it was the end of school year. She went to the garden. She found a caterpillar, a snow-tailed caterpillar, okay? And she went with her mom to try to pay off that glass fish tank. So let's keep going to see if we can find either the problem or obstacles and see how she would figure it out. Perfect. So over the course of about 2 weeks, my little caterpillar got no so little, filling up on dill and the rest of the parsley. I loved waking up every morning to see how much more plant it had eaten and how much bigger it had gotten. So far, she's what? She's looking up serving her caterpillar after she's been feeding it with dill and parsley, which, remember, the parsley she got from the garden. And then one morning, Albert wasn't munching on anything. It was hanging upside down from the roof of its tank, its tiny legs looped over the wires in the screen. When I checked back after breakfast, it had let go, but only halfway, and was hanging in a lazy J shape, secure at one end of its body by a sticky bit of silk. Albert didn't move. I read about metamorphosis in my insect book, but somehow I was still afraid of that it was dead. So did we figure out a problem or obstacle? I think we did. She's a little bit afraid that her caterpillar Albert is dead. So let's figure out and see what she does to figure out if it's dead or not. I didn't have to worry though. The next morning, Albert the caterpillar no longer looked like a caterpillar. He looked like a dinosaur without legs. In place of my formerly squishy caterpillar was an angular green chrysalis with twin rows of yellow spikes down what used to be Albert's back. Ooh, now we have a word that I want you guys again to write down. Formerly. So what do you think the word formerly means in this passage? Let's reread that sentence. He looked like a dinosaur without legs. In place of my formerly squishy caterpillar was an angular green chrysalis with twin rows of yellow spikes down what used to be Albert's back. So what's the meaning of the word formerly in this sentence? Something that used to be. What used to be a squishy caterpillar now was what? A green chrysalis. That is the meaning of that word. Write it down so you can tell your teacher. A week went by and the few leaves remaining on the dill and the parsley plant were beginning to yellow. I wanted to water them, but I worried about getting Albert's shell wet. Somehow, the parsley I had been so excited to buy didn't really matter anymore. I just wanted to watch the caterpillar transform. So, again, do we see a problem? Yes, she's still afraid that Albert somehow is going to die if she does something to her parsley plant. So we know what she wanted, which was the parsley, and the problem is that she thinks that her caterpillar is going to die. Let's see how she's going to be able to solve that problem and obstacle. Some people get summer jobs. I'm only 11, so I don't really work, except for a weekend in early July when my mom has a craft booth set up at a local arts fair. The days start early and run late. Albert still hadn't hatched when that weekend came around, and I looked at its cocoon on Saturday morning as I got ready to leave. Don't hatch while I'm gone, little guy. So again, we don't know how she's solving it, but she wants to be able to see what happens to what? To Albert while she's gone. So she's asking him to please don't do anything weird. Albert seemed to have waited, and he still hadn't cracked out of his shell when Mom and I got back that night. But the shell had turned black. Something was happening. I can see this kind of solving. Something is happening to Albert the caterpillar. Let's see what happens to see if we can solve that obstacle and problem. The next morning I woke up to a flutter. I heard it before I saw it. The cocoon was in 2 pieces, still stuck to the lid of the tank, and flapping aimlessly on the dirt was the new winged version of Albert, a black swallow-tailed butterfly. So, did we figure out what the problem was? Did we figure out how she solved it? Well, she didn't solve it, okay? Something happened to Albert. Okay. Albert's wings were studded with yellow dots on the edges, and teardrops of powder blue seemed dusted on. I scoured my child's guise and discovered that Albert was actually a female. Males have more yellow on them, and the females wear blue. I heard my mom call up to me from the kitchen. I had to get a move on. It was craft weekend, but now I had a butterfly to take care of. So the problem kind of got solved because Albert became a butterfly, which was actually a female butterfly. But now she wanted to take care of it, but she needed to go to the crafts show. So let's see what happens. So Mom suggested we waited till the evening to let Albert go. I think she wanted to hurry to the show, but I think she also knew that my bug will be alright resting from its recent metamorphosis. I worried all day long that Albert would break her wings or starve, but when I got home she was just fine, standing still on the bottom of the fish tank. That is awesome. I carried the tank to Mom's flower garden before we even unpacked the car. Mom fished her camera out from one of the boxes in the back seat, and as I lifted the lid, Albert was hanging upside down again, this time as the butterfly. She took pictures. Albert waited patiently and calmly for the photo op. Wings spread, and then suddenly, shroom! She shot up. Circled faster than I expected a butterfly could, and paused to flutter above our heads. We admired her for 1 second more, and then Albert flew quickly in zigzags toward the woods around our house. She was out of sight in seconds. So I circled a phrase, shut up. Shut up. So what do you think that word means, okay? Yes, guys, she went flying up. That's correct. Write that down. I felt as empty as Albert's fish tank, but Mom told me to feel proud. I raised a butterfly by accident. Most people would have squashed that caterpillar. She said, we went to unload the car, and I suppose that Mom was right. I could have picked any parsley plant at the garden center, and somehow Albert and I got lucky. So, do we have a somebody? Do we have our main character? Yes, Anne. Okay, do we have what is it that she wanted? She just wanted a parsley plant, but ended up with a caterpillar that she had to take care of. Was that the problem? Yes, guys, she ended up with something that she didn't know she had, and she was always worried that something was going to happen to the caterpillar while she was out. Okay, so how was she able to solve that problem obstacle? By just observing and taking care of the caterpillar. So how does it all end up, and how does it all connect? She learned to be patient and observe, because she could have just killed the caterpillar like her mom said in the beginning, but she didn't. She was able to take care of it, and she was able to see what that caterpillar transformed into, which is a beautiful butterfly. So again, what is your task for today, Wednesday? So you have to tell your teacher what is the meaning, of the word formally. You have to tell the teacher what is the meaning of the word shut up, and you have to write a 3 to 4 sentence summary. Make sure that you include all of these things in your summary, because when you summarize a story, you mention only the most important details, about the character, the setting, the main problem, and the events. A good summary is short, so that's why I'm asking you 3 to 4 sentences. However, it includes every piece of information needed to understand what the story is about. So you can't forget to mention what? The caterpillar, because it's still part of the story. So guys, I am so happy that I got to see you today. It is Wednesdays. It's only half through the week. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week and enjoy your weekend. And I can see you back again next Monday. Adios.